Ladies and gentlemen, the world of professional wrestling never stops, and welcome to another ridiculous report. Breaking news, WWE views AEW as competition. There are tons of reports out there now, reports that WWE is considering counter-programming AEW All Out on September 20th with the John Cena and Brock Lesnar match and an unannounced PLE, maybe Bad Blood returns, something like that. There's also a report from Sports Illustrated that WWE and TNA is considering moving to Wednesday nights now that they're partners with WWE to counter-program AEW Dynamite. WWE can control TNA as the number 2. That's from Dave Meltzer. Here is his quote. WWE really wants TNA to become the other promotion because they can control TNA. This is a major full-court press. They just want Tony Khan out of the box, and they know if the numbers stay good and he's going to get a renewal at a much bigger number, just like they did. He's already very profitable. The number will make him incredibly profitable, and they'll never get away from him or anything like that. So they feel that they need to make sure that this is the last contract. So according to Dave Meltzer and Wrestling Observer, WWE is going on a full court press here to stop Tony Khan and AEW from getting another contract. To me, that's competition. I understand people are pissed. It is a little ridiculous for WWE and the higher-ups in that company to say AEW is not competition, and then all of their actions seem to point that AEW is competition to them. But also, Tony Khan and AEW have taken countless shots at WWE over the years now. You know, Chris Jericho infamously saying that Dynamite's going to overtake Raw in a couple years, and that never even came close to fruition. So, you know, there's pot shots from Tony Khan over the years on Twitter. You know, The Undertaker and John Cena, the first time in forever that they've ever been on a program with under 1 million viewers, just taking a shot at WWE, but completely ignoring the fact that his numbers and AEW Dynamite's numbers, aside from the random 700,000 last week, you know, have been going down, and they're in ballrooms and music halls. So, but then it comes to the pay-per-views, and AEW always kills it. So maybe WWE's trying to screw with their pay-per-view numbers. And I understand, like, trying to make TNA the number 2 and then take that TV rights deal away from AEW or diminish its value or whatever they're trying to do here. But AEW has done a great job of screwing itself over, in my opinion, in the past few years. They're inconsistent television, weekly television. It's what's caused their ratings to decline. It's not good enough. Their pay-per-views are always great, but if the weekly television leading up to it isn't captivating, you're screwed, and you're leaving yourself open to stuff like this. So we'll see what happens. I don't know how AEW is going to be in 10 years, if they're going to exist. I hope they do. But they have to deal with WWE breathing down their necks, trying to end them. This is competition now. It's not breaking news to me. Bret Hart was invited to SummerSlam. He felt disrespected. The Hitman was inducted into Hall of Fame again with his immortal moment from WrestleMania 13 at this year's Hall of Fame ceremony. But, you know, he's not happy with how WWE treated him at SummerSlam. He was invited and then said that they didn't have a seat for him, which is just unbelievable, but that's what happened. According to Bret Hart, I went to SummerSlam. They invited me down, told me they wanted me to be in the crowd, and once I got there, they told me they didn't have any seats. But I noticed Kevin Nash got a seat. Maybe I finally realized that I don't feel that they really fully appreciate me. Even after Hulk Hogan's passing, there's no certain appreciation for anything I did. Again, he was just inducted into the Hall of Fame again earlier this year, but you know, you got to agree with Bret Hart if that actually how it went down, that they just didn't have a seat for him to show him on camera at SummerSlam. That's insane. But it is what it is. Bret Hart, very opinionated, gonna let you know if he feels disrespected, and he felt disrespected. This is an interesting report from Mike Johnson of PW Insider. Seth Rollins' fake injury storyline has left a sour taste in a lot of people's mouths backstage. Rollins faked an injury during his match against LA Knight. He lost that match at Saturday night's main event, went away for a few weeks, was seen on crutches. Becky Lynch is uploading videos of him on crutches with their daughter, only to return completely healthy at SummerSlam after CM Punk won the World Heavyweight Championship from Gunther, cashed in his Money in the Bank contract, is now the new World Heavyweight Champion and will be defending that title in a fatal four-way against LA Knight, CM Punk, and Jey Uso at Clash in Paris. Well, that fake injury storyline reportedly pissed off a lot of people. There's a quote from Mike Johnson here. I want to caution everybody, obviously WWE can lie to anybody they want. They certainly lie to a lot of people. It would appear during the Seth Rollins situation, much of which has left a very unhealthy flavor in the mouths of a lot of people who work behind the scenes for the company, as well as talents who are in-ring performers. So that's interesting. Karrion Kross referenced on his appearance on Ariel Helwani that a lot of people think his situation is a work because of Seth Rollins' situation. AEW hasn't reached out to him because the company thinks it's a work, according to Kross. The Seth Rollins situation is very interesting. You know, I don't understand how he fakes an injury to lose a match to LA Knight. I don't understand the strategy behind that. Let's just have a shitty moment at Saturday night's main event. They feel like they could have done a much better job of faking an injury with like a backstage attack that we didn't see, and then we find out, after he cashes in, he shows security footage of him just lying down pretending to be attacked or something. You don't have to ruin a match at Saturday night's main event. But yeah, it left a sour taste in a lot of people's mouths backstage, I guess. I thought it was fine for what it was. It created an epic moment. I thought that moment at SummerSlam where Seth Rollins dropped the crutches was iconic. But yeah, you can't do that shit over and over again. It's going to piss off people, and you don't want to do it too often because people are already angry about it. TMZ released a documentary about Hulk Hogan's passing, and it featured Vince McMahon. His appearance has altered dramatically over the past few years. It's just stunning from his documentary. Then he had that random thing when he was still a part of TKO where he had like the James Bond villain mustache out of nowhere. Now he's got this Cruella de Vil gray hair streak, Pepe Le Pew. I don't know what the hell's going on. He's got like a Pee Wee Herman outfit on. He looks crazy in the documentary. He just looks crazy. It is what it is. I'm not taking an unneeded shot at the man. He just looks absolutely utterly insane. But anyways, Jim Ross on his Grillin' JR podcast thought Vince McMahon looked horrible as well. Here's what he said. I thought he looked horrible. He meaning Vince. I thought he looked tired, withdrawn, and it had me concerned. I was surprised he was on camera so much. Whoever did his makeup should be fired. He looked tired and a little frustrated. I mean, his suit was custom-made stuff. He looked good in his attire, but the hair thing was one issue that caught my eye. Having his eyebrows colored was another thing that caught my eye. So those are comments from Jim Ross. Yeah, Vince McMahon, people age. You don't always age gracefully, but whatever he's done to try to hide it has had an opposite effect. It just looks crazy. But he had some comments about how WWE utilized Hulk Hogan. He said that they had Hulk Hogan show up on that January 6th episode of Raw on Netflix, the Netflix premiere of Raw, and they just had him, come down and do an entrance. He would never have done that. According to Vince McMahon, he would never do such a thing. This is, Vince McMahon who had Hulk Hogan show up at WrestleMania dressed as a pirate a few years ago with Titus O'Neil. So, yeah, Vince McMahon would never just have Hulk Hogan show up. Just silly comments from Vince McMahon in the TMZ documentary. He's got the 14th and I company production thing. We'll see what that ends up being. But yeah, that is it for this episode of The Ridiculous Report. Thank you so much for watching, and if you have not subscribed, please do so. Have a good one.